All right, let's dive into something really vital today, supply chain security.
Specifically within the defense industrial base, the DIB.
Exactly. And our deep dive today, it's based on some really powerful insights from CMMC and the future of supply chain security.
Yeah, and our mission really is to unpack how CMMC 2.0 is fundamentally reshaping security requirements for you.
That's the Cybersecurity Maturity Model certification, right?
Right. And we're talking about everyone involved here, not just the massive prime contractors. We want to give you that full interconnected picture of national security.
Exactly, because, what really jumped out from the source material is this idea that the DIB, it's only as strong as its weakest link.
That's the core concept.
So we're going to explore why those smaller subcontractors are now finding themselves squarely in the cybersecurity spotlight.
Well, it's quite fascinating, the adversary's playbook.
Oh.
They're sophisticated.
How so?
They know the large defense contractors, the primes, they invest heavily in cybersecurity. They're hard targets.
Right.
So adversaries often shift their focus. They look at the smaller suppliers who might be, well, less resourced. Easier targets.
Makes sense, like finding a side door.
Exactly. And a breach at one small subcontractor, it can ripple upwards. It can expose controlled unclassified information, CUI.
And that directly undermines national security.
It absolutely can. So that's the why behind this push.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. How does CMMC actually step in to, stop that ripple?
Well, CMMC basically ensures that every contractor handling federal data, doesn't matter how small they are, meets certain baseline cybersecurity standards.
Ah, so it levels the playing field.
It does. It reinforces the integrity of the whole supply chain, top to bottom.
That's a fundamental shift, and we're seeing this play out in some key trends, right? What's emerging?
What's fascinating here is the rise of what they call flow-down requirements.
Flow-down?
Yeah. So prime contractors will increasingly demand proof of compliance from their subcontractors. You'll start seeing CMMC requirements embedded directly into subcontract agreements. It's becoming contractual.
So non-compliant suppliers might get phased out.
That's the implication, yes. Over time, primes will likely lean towards suppliers who can demonstrate compliance.
And it's not just about, a yearly check-in anymore, is it?
No, definitely not. We're seeing a big shift away from those annual self-assessments towards more continuous monitoring, verification.
How does that work practically?
Tools like GRC platforms, governance, risk, and compliance are becoming crucial.
Right.
They allow primes to track, verify, and report on their supplier network's compliance posture, almost in real time.
That's a lot more visibility.
Huge visibility. Another key trend is risk-based tiering, meaning it's not one-size-fits-all. Suppliers handling really sensitive CUI, they'll likely need level 2 compliance under CMMC 2.0.
Which is more rigorous.
Much more rigorous, whereas, lower-risk vendors might only need level 1, basic cyber hygiene.
Okay, so supply chains will get segmented based on risk.
Expect to see that, yes. A more tailored approach.
It feels like we're moving from just trust to trust but verify. Is that fair?
That's a perfect way to put it. Think third-party audits, shared compliance portals.
Where primes might actually ask to see the evidence.
They might demand access, yeah. It's about transparency, accountability across the board. It's a big cultural shift.
So with all these changes, what are the big hurdles, especially for the small businesses out there?
That's a really important question. The sources point to a few key things. First, cost pressure. Achieving compliance isn't free.
Understandable.
Second, there's still a significant awareness gap. Many subcontractors, believe it or not, still don't fully realize CMMC applies to them.
Wow, really?
Yes. And finally, there's the complexity of data flow. Tracing CUI and also FCI federal contract information across multiple vendors, that's challenging.
Auditors will want to see that clearly mapped out, I imagine.
Absolutely. They'll expect clarity on where that data lives and moves.
Okay, this raises the critical question then. How can you, listening right now, how can you prepare?
Good question. Start with scoping. That's number one. Understand exactly where CUI and FCI are flowing in your specific supply chain. Map it out.
Know your data.
Know your data. Then engage your primes. Talk to them. Ask directly, what level of compliance do you need from us and what's the timeline?
Get clarity early.
Crucial. And finally, look into readiness tools. There are resources available, some free gap assessment platforms, like CyberGap, for instance, and relatively affordable GRC solutions that can help manage the process.
And flipping that coin, if you're a prime contractor listening.
Communicate early and often with your subcontractors. help them understand the requirements, support them now to avoid major delays and disruptions later. It's in everyone's interest.
So pulling this all together,
Right.
what does this really mean for everyone involved, prime or sub?
Well, the future under CMMC isn't just about passing your own audit anymore.
Right.
It's about being able to demonstrate that your entire supply chain ecosystem can be trusted.
From the biggest players down to the smallest shops.
Exactly. And those organizations, those businesses that invest early in achieving that visibility, fostering collaboration with their partners, and putting verification measures in place,
We'll be ahead of the game.
they'll be positioned not just to comply, but to really stand out as reliable, secure partners for the Department of Defense. It becomes a competitive advantage.
So here's a final thought to leave you with.
Consider how this profound shift, this move towards an ecosystem-wide security model, how it fundamentally redefines what trust and security actually mean in the context of national defense. It's a whole new landscape.